Hello, it's Carly McAvoy. I did some rational equation examples, but I felt like people were still struggling with this a little bit, and every problem looks a little different, so I wanted to do some more and talk about the domain for each of the equations, and that is the restrictions. What can we not have? Now we want to think about this as over 1, so what are the restrictions? That's one way to ask about it. Or the domain is another way, but what can we not have? Do you see if I had -3 in here, that would make that be 0. So b cannot equal -3. Also, if b was 0, 2 times 0 would be a problem, so it can't be 0. This is no variable. I don't have to worry about that. So there's 2 restrictions. And now I want to ask, what's the least common denominator? Well, I have a 2b. And then I have a b plus 3, and those are 2 different numbers. If b happened to be 5, that would make that 10, and that would make that 8. Those are just different numbers, right? So my LCD is that. So what I want to do is multiply everything by my LCD. So I'm going to multiply by 2b, b plus 3, 2b, b plus 3, and here I'm okay to clear fractions because there's an equal sign and we can balance it out like that. So it's okay. So I get 2 times 2. You see how that's going to be 4. So that's going to be 4b, and I'll distribute that out in a second. And then here I have the 2b's canceling. So what I have is -13 b plus 3. And over here I have the b plus 3's canceling. So I have 2b times 2b, which is 4b squared. And now I want to finish solving that. I get 4b squared plus 12b minus 13b minus 39 is 4b squared. Well, do you see how if I subtract 4b squared from both sides, those terms are going to go away? And so I have 12b minus 13b is -b minus 39 equals 0. And if I add 39 to both sides, I get -b equals 39. And if I divide both sides by -1, I get b equals -39. Well, that's not a problem because that was not one of our restrictions, so I'm good with that. All right, let's move on to the next one. What is the domain and what is the LCD? Well, the domain is the numbers that would cause your denominators to be 0. And sometimes you can't see the domain until you factor. This right here could be factored. I could take out the 3 and I'd get y minus 4. And then I can see, oh, that's the same over there. I can't let y be 4 because 4 minus 4 would be 0. So I say y cannot equal 4. 15 doesn't change anything, there's no variable, and then y can't be 4. So the only thing I can't let it be here is 4. What's the LCD though? Well, look at our numbers, 3 and 15. The least common denominator for 3 and 15 is 15. And then we need a y minus 4. This y minus 4 and that y minus 4, because they're in separate denominators, can be represented just one time. And so then I can go back and multiply everything by 15y minus 4. And you don't have to write it next to every one as long as you remember to multiply every one, but that's part of the problem. People forget to do it. It's 15. So I have y minus 4 is canceling. 15 times 1 is 15. Have 15's canceling, and that just leaves y minus 4. I would want to be careful if there was a minus here, but there's not. And then up here, I know that 3 goes into 15 5 times, and the y minus 4's cancel, so -4 times 5 is -20. 15 minus 4 is 11, and subtract 11 from both sides, and y is -31, and that is not a problem because our only restriction was 4. Okay, the last one I wanted to do for just kind of helping you find LCD more than anything, but also what's the domain of this? Well, if you were to factor out the x, you'd get x minus 4. And so you can see that I don't have anything new for the domain in here. I can't let x be 0. I can't let x be 4, but that's it. What's the LCD? Well, the LCD is a standalone x and the x minus 4. So I'm going to multiply everything times x minus 4. The x minus 4's cancel, leaving me with 9x. The x's cancel, leaving 2 times x minus 4. The x and the x minus 4's cancel here, leaving me with negative 8. So I have 9x plus 2x minus 8 equals negative 8. I'm going to get 11x. I'm going to add 8 to both sides, and I get 11x equals 0. Divide both sides by 11, and I get x equals 0. Problem, because I said x cannot be 0. Since x cannot be 0, there is no solution to this equation. All right, have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time.